What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Telcoin. But before we get started, if you're not a member of the free Discord, please click the link in the description box below and get started with the free Discord. And without further ado, we'll get straight into today's video. All right, so Telcoin here on the 15-day candlesticks. We're looking at the big picture cycle here with Telcoin on the left and Ethereum over here on the right. Now, if you guys don't know, I did make a video about Telcoin right here, letting you guys know Telcoin was a very good buying opportunity at these levels. We're up over 600% from that video, and basically that video was based on this exact chart, based on this Ethereum and Telcoin comparison. And we were looking at it because Telcoin looked a lot like Ethereum right here before Ethereum started to break out and start a big bull market. So basically I was telling you guys, no pun intended, that Telcoin was going to take off based on this fractal. We're already up over 600%, like I said, from that video. And I think we're just getting started here. So the big picture reversal is taking place here with Telcoin. You can see all the strength, all the momentum here picking up in this market. And I think what's about to happen is very similar to what happened to Ethereum in 2020 and 2021 as it really started to accelerate to a new all-time high. So currently Telcoin is worth 0.009 cents. So it's pretty undervalued. The most it's been worth recently is about $1 penny, a little over a penny. And I think it could easily break its old all-time high this cycle and really take off and make a big percentage gain for those who are buying early on. So basically you want to keep accumulating, keep buying as much Telcoin as you possibly can before we take off. Now, if you look at current price on Telcoin, it's a lot like what's happened right here. As Ethereum broke out of its double bottom pattern and started to take off, of course, there was corrections along the way up. Some of those were 10%, some were 15%. And this little pullback that we see on Telcoin right now reminds me a lot of either this little pullback here or maybe one of these little pullbacks here. So we're pretty early on in this uptrend. And all of these dips along the way up are for buying. Even the small ones are for buying because they're going to lead to a bigger picture breakout and more upside for Telcoin. So that's kind of what I see here in the big picture for Telcoin. Let's take a look at the smaller time frames. So here with Telcoin on the smaller time frames, you can see that we did break bullish out of this horizontal consolidation. By the way, Litecoin looks a lot like this right now. Litecoin pretty much looks like this right here. Before Telcoin broke out, Litecoin is very similar as well. So there's a lot of coins out there that are doing similar patterns, and that's because the whole market is turning around here and getting ready for more upside. Now, this horizontal consolidation pattern, the minimum target for this pattern was already reached. Basically, you measure the resistance to the support level and put it at the point of breakout, and that gives you the minimum target, which would have been just over a penny here for Telcoin. But then we pulled back, and we pulled back pretty much to support. We're not quite at the support level yet, this wick right here or this support level right here. But I think what's going to happen is we'll bottom out pretty quickly up here and turn around and head up for more upside. Because basically what this is here is wave one inside of a new Elliott wave cycle. So if we pull the chart down a little bit here, you can see we just broke out here on Telcoin, and that would be wave one and wave two. So what we're really forming here with Telcoin is a bigger picture, wave three, wave four, and wave five. Now, of course, there's corrections along the way up for wave three, and that's what we're experiencing here. But this is what I see on Telcoin in the short term. Watch for us to start to bottom out here, to find support in this area and to continue upwards toward the top of wave 3 here. Then, of course, wave 4 can happen, and then we can head for wave 5. Now, when I draw this impulse wave, I don't want you to think that this is going to be the end for Telcoin here, because as you guys know, after 5 waves up, there's an ABC correction according to Elliott wave theory. But what a lot of people forget is that after an ABC correction, there's a new bullish impulse wave. So even if we get a bit of a correction up here after we go for wave 5, that doesn't mean Telcoin just ends its bull market here. In fact, that could be just a correction over the summer before a bigger picture move and more upside comes in this market. So don't think that just because I'm drawing a 5th wave here, that means that I think that's the 5th wave of the whole bull market for Telcoin, but it could be a short-term potential top, and it would line up with around the summer. And as you guys know, last year we did get a correction over the summer. A lot of times people go on vacation, and in every market in the world, there is a tendency to have a bit of a pullback over the summer. Although it doesn't have to happen, there is a tendency for it to happen. So we could get something like this in the short term for Telcoin, head up towards wave 3, then get wave 4, wave 5, and then a potential summer correction before more upside. Because again, in the big picture, I personally believe Telcoin will head up to a new all-time high, just like how Ethereum did, break its old all-time high, and really blow a lot of people away. But getting to that point, there's going to be corrections. There's going to be phases of the market where people panic sell. That's what we just had on XRP, for example. You know, XRP is a really good example of people panic selling before more upside. Along the way up, there's corrections. There's expanded flat corrections, like in the case of XRP here. But also there's ABC corrections too. And a lot of times people have a tendency to try to sell into those corrections. But for me, my strategy is buy all corrections until you break the old all-time high. Because once you break the old all-time high, then you're going to start getting a little bit overvalued. You know, then you can talk about the market being overvalued. But until then, buy all dips, you know, buy every correction you possibly can. And even when you break an old all-time high level, most of the time, the market goes into price discovery and it keeps making higher highs and higher lows. And so even when you're breaking an all-time high level, a lot of times all of those dips are still for buying until you get overvalued, because most of the time these markets will go significantly above their old all-time high before they finally get parabolic and have to come for a huge correction afterwards, right? So that's the strategy, and that's why I say buy all dips, especially coins like Telcoin. You know, today is a great opportunity to be picking up Telcoin. We pulled back a little bit here off of the resistance, and we're nearing support. We're 28% down in the short term. This thing can go a lot higher. You know, this thing can go a lot higher in the big picture. And in the short term, it looks like we're going to head for wave 3. You know, we just finished wave 1 and wave 2. I think we're going to keep forming wave 3 for Telcoin. So all dips are for buying. In a bull market, think in terms of buying dips. You know, if there's a pullback in the market, buy the dip. We had a pullback on Dogecoin. You know, Dogecoin pulled back to major support down here. A lot of people are panic selling their Dogecoin. But the smart investors and the people that know what they're doing, they're buying down here and they're picking up Dogecoin. And that's what you should do in a bull market. Just like how we bought Dogecoin down here in the dip down here before it broke out to a new local high. We were buying the dip. We were buying people's fear because they were panic selling over the summer. And currently, people are panic selling their crypto again onto major support. We're very oversold on a bunch of different coins. And the opportunity to pick up this stuff at dirt cheap prices is very, very high. So in a bull market, you want to think in terms of buying those dips, right? If you get a bullish impulse wave, buy the dip that comes after. If you get another bullish impulse wave, buy the dip that comes after. That's the psychology you got to train yourself for, because that's the psychology that buys stuff before it takes off. And as you guys know, I was posting about Telcoin on my YouTube channel down here for that exact reason, because I knew that we were going to start a bull market based on this fractal comparison, and this pullback right here was a great opportunity to buy Telcoin at 0.0014 before it went all the way up to a penny, right before it broke out, based on this fractal comparison. How did I know to do that? Well, first of all, the fractal comparison of Ethereum and Telcoin, and second of all, because you want to buy dips, right? You want to buy people's fear. And I knew that Telcoin had pulled back over the summer, but it was showing signs of a reversal down here, signs of the market turning around. So this was a great buy the dip opportunity. And Telcoin right now is down 30%. It's a great buy the dip opportunity. And Dogecoin is the same story, you guys. Look, this thing is down like what? 52% from its peak. You don't want to sell a 52% correction. You want to buy that type of a fear, that type of panic in the market, because a 52% correction is an opportunity to pick up more crypto at discount prices before they turn around and start to head up for more upside. That's the name of the game. And by the way, 20, 30, 40, 50% corrections, it doesn't get much better of a buying opportunity than that. You know, we're 50% down on Dogecoin right now. That's a really, really, really good buying opportunity. The odds of it going lower than 57% down is very, very, very low for it to go lower than a 57% correction here. So you can see how oversold it is, how much panic there's been in the market over the past couple months, and just how big of an opportunity that provides you if you're willing to buy the dip. You know, if you're willing to do what other people aren't willing to do. And it's not only true for Dogecoin. This video is about Telcoin, and Telcoin is down 30% from its local peak. So just like how we were buying Telcoin down here, because it was down like 70% from this local peak, and just like how it provided another buying opportunity right here, down 50% from its local peak, this 30% correction on Telcoin is a great opportunity to buy the dip. You know, that's the way you want to think in a bull market. Buy those dips. And if you don't know if it's a bull market yet, that's why you learn these fractals and these market cycles, so you can learn how to identify when the market's shifting from a bear market into a bull market. You guys, Telcoin is a really good opportunity. It's a lot like Ethereum before Ethereum broke out to its new all-time high. And if you buy and accumulate and hold this thing, you're going to make a lot of money on Telcoin. So what I would tell you guys is just, if you believe in this project, keep accumulating it. Keep buying every dip you possibly can and let the market take off to a new all-time high, so you guys can profit off of that investing that you've been making in this coin. And when it breaks its old all-time high, yeah, it's probably not going to go up forever. Most people in the Telcoin community are probably going to be a little bit more cult-like and probably tell you it will go up forever. But I'm a technical analyst, so I'll just tell you the truth as it is. And I'll be honest with you that once this thing starts to break above its old all-time high, it won't be sustainable for it to be above its old all-time high for a crazy amount of time. You know, it could go higher than a lot of people plan. I think this bull market's going to be way bigger than what people think. This is the mass adoption institutional cycle for crypto. This is where crypto becomes a household name. So it could go quite a bit above its old all-time high level, but at some point it will be overvalued and it will have to have a bear market. But until we get to that point, you want to be accumulating as much crypto as you can and holding on till we get to that point, till we're overvalued. And yeah, for Telcoin, we're still super undervalued. We're worth less than a penny right now. So the name of the game is to buy every dip, to keep accumulating in the big picture and plan for that break above the old all-time high. Who knows how high it will go? It could go a lot higher than people expect because of mass adoption, but at some point it will top out and it will have a correction. But if you buy early on, then you don't have to get the exact top You don't have to nail the exact top to get rich on Telcoin, but if you wait to buy in where it becomes super apparent that we're in a bull market, you might get too excited and forget to sell or think it's going to go higher and then end up in a loss because you were too late. If you start buying right here and then the market only goes up to here and you don't take profit because you think, oh, it's just going to go a little higher, and then it goes down, you might end up in a loss, right? But if you buy early on in the big picture, this is why it's so powerful to buy the bottom of these cycles, to buy the bottom of these big picture market cycles. Because even if you don't nail the top, even if you sold the bottom of the next bear market, you're in profit. That's why you buy when everybody is skeptical and when nobody thinks a bull market's coming, because it puts you in a position to just get stupid rich. And even if you're really bad at investing, you're still going to end up on top financially because of the fact that you bought so early on. The price is likely not going to go back down to those levels ever again. So, that's just the truth when it comes to Telcoin. I don't think we'll ever see prices down this low again once we break above the old all-time high. Once we break out in a new bull market, fully into a new bull market and break our old all-time high, I really don't think we'll ever come back to these levels again. And that's the power of buying the dip in the big picture early on at dirt cheap prices before the market takes off, before things go nuts. So that's my update on Telcoin. What did I tell you guys? Telcoin would moon, and it did. And I think it's going to keep mooning and keep going crazy, keep following this Ethereum fractal, and make a lot of people super rich. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I love and appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and share it with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. And as always, stay profitable out there.